Okay, so I wanted to show you how I start out my game. First of all, I take a map which I found online, and I think I modified this with AI. And I tried to make sure that it just didn't have anything weird on it or things that looked wrong. You can still see that it's got like the shape of the countries, but whatever. So then I went through, I put in this graphic, and it was like Mesopotamia game, and then I went to right click on the screen and click to area, made it transparent by 50%, and that gave me that effect. After that, so I'm using LibreOffice, by the way, which is like an alternative to Microsoft Office. After that, I went through to LibreOffice Drawing, and I took the image and I made it transparent by 80%, and you can see it right here. You can do that, and then I put it back into the file to make a different page, which was like my instructions page. After that, I wanted it set up. I always set it up materials, setup, objective, and gameplay. And the reason I do that is because I'm like, okay, here are the 4 components that I want to explain to people. I try to really dumb it down because people have asked me questions like, how do I play the game? And I'm thinking, my instructions aren't good enough. Anyway, then I go to AI and I said, can you make me a city in the style but for Persepolis, and one for Babylon, Nineveh, and a generic Mesopotamian city with no label? And it came up with this. So I took that, removed the background. You can either remove it online or you can remove it directly in LibreOffice by going Edit with External Tool. Now, if you're wondering how to find that, you have to right click on the image and then it will bring up Edit with External Tool. It'll open up something called Preview, and then what you do is you go to Help and you remove the background, and then it will remove the background for you. That's how I put it into there, and sometimes it doesn't work, so I have to mess with it a little bit. Then I had them all for different cities, so Nineveh, Babylon, Persepolis, and a generic one, but I didn't like the generic one, so I decided to make it a bit more simple. And so you have these other images here that are like, the towns are more generic. Okay, it's not moving on to the next screen. Okay, and then I asked what were some resources that they might have used, because I want to have the gameplay where they collect resources. So it came up with these, and I was like, great, I'll use those. So I added them to the screen. You can see that there's 2 per screen, or two per page. So if kids are playing the game, they can get to them easily. After that, I just used the drawing tool and did a dotted line to add lines all around the whole board. And then after that, you can click send to the back of the screen, and then you bring them forward by 1 so that they're behind the actual picture. After that, I went to a place called Wikimedia to look for some images of a dice, because this is a dice game. And what did I find? I found this kind of dice right here. So I was like, cool, I'll go with that. I put it into AI to try to remove the background, and because it was blurry, and it came up with this. And then after that, I took the dice and I put it into the game, and I wanted to have a white background, but it was transparent, but I thought, forget it, I'll just leave it the way it is. After that, I wrote the rules, so I actually changed the rules later in the game, but for now I wanted the rules like this, so they're all down the bottom, about what each dice roll does. So you can see here it's zoomed in. Then I thought, you know what, these actually really need their own areas, so the kids learn what different areas they were. So I just colored these. They had this dotted back line, but I decided to get rid of that. I clicked area, made them transparent, and then put it behind the city and the text. And this is the result. So we're getting close to done now. After that, I added some ships. And I actually decided that the game rules were going to be different. So now it says place 1 counter or place 2 counters, because they're going to add counters as they go around versus moving just 1 counter around the board. Then I make the rules really specific. Like I say, exactly what they need, exactly what the objective is. For this one, you can win 2 different ways. After that, I wanted a border, so I took this border. It came out blue. You have to use this part right here to make it smaller, and so the border came out like that. I actually just made that a white color on the inside. I don't think it looks nice. After that, I decided to finish the rules, and it's nice to make a screenshot so that you can show them the rules. So shows all the rules down here, how many players there are and what their names are. I've found that with teachers, you really have to spell stuff out. Sometimes they just won't get the game. Then I took a circle with a black ring around it, made it transparent, and I made them the same colors as the cities. So then I wanted to show an example of what a gameplay would look like. So just a couple of ways that you can play it. This one shows what a roll looks like if you do 1 or 2. This one shows what a roll looks like if you do a 4. So you can see this extra one down here is how that works. And that's basically how to make a game pretty much in an afternoon. Yeah.